Well, Mr. Wale Oluwade is still with us, and we're discussing the Twitter ban, but now we're going to relate it to the Economic Sustainability Plan, which has just been revealed by the federal government. We understand that about 2 million jobs were retained or saved over the last year. Don't forget that there was some monies released to help with the economic sustainability plan, and different plans and projects were going on simultaneously. I don't know whether this has any relationship with it, because some people will say that, well, while we were saving jobs in one area, we were losing some or threatening some in some other areas. Because some people might say that, yes, there was no Twitter, but there were other platforms that people could have migrated to. But I do not know what you make of the success of the economic sustainability plan so far and the projections for 2022.
Thank you, Mark. I mean, when you say success, I don't know. Can you be more specific? In what areas exactly?
In terms of how we were able to implement it, because we understand that about 2 million jobs were retained and saved in the process of implementing the economic sustainability plan. Do you think that that was a measure of success coming from the year of COVID, where lots of people lost their jobs or their jobs were threatened as a result of what had happened with COVID?
Okay, yeah, I saw the report, I mean, a summary of it, and I saw different statistics on, number of jobs created from different MDAs or sectors of the economy, and total was 2.1 million either created or saved. But my worry with that, I mean, even they mentioned some of these programs, Survivor Fund. I know people who got survivor funds, and that was real. I know a few people who got, but how many jobs were created from the survivor fund? How many of them are paying taxes? How many people are employed as a result of the survivor funds? I also saw something about the NSIA, Nigerian Sovereign Investment Wealth Fund.
Creating solar?
Yeah, 10 billion naira with the Rural Electrification Agency for solar whatever in the rural areas. So the question also is, I'm not sure, is that an intention of government or has it been done? If it's been done, so who are the people who got the monies? How many people are they employing? These jobs that are being created, are they pensionable jobs or just casual or temporary jobs? Now, these are information that are not there. And I mean, we could go on. So, but
we also know about the 774,000 jobs, which was supposed to be...
No, that got into a huge controversy.
Yes, it was controversial.
I think it was abandoned or stopped.
No, it actually went
but
on.
Then it was engulfed in a huge controversy.
Maybe the controversy didn't let us see.
I didn't even see anything about that.
But we do know that it was implemented at the end of the day, and I think they said they're done and dusted.
But I didn't even see anything about that in this report. Then the other one that caught my attention was 250,000 new business registrations at the Corporate Affairs Commission. And my quick response to that is, I have maybe 12 or 15 business names personally registered, different companies. And I'm not sure, maybe more than three of them are actually engaged in any form of business. So that you registered 250,000 names at the CAC does not mean they are doing business. Otherwise, you should show us, their bank details, their TIN, that's tax identification numbers, their BVNs, and then how many people are they employing? So those are gaps. But in summary, my overall take is this government, 2019 June, new, what's it called? It used to be May 29th, Democracy Day. So it was June 1st. The president had said, made
June
a promise.
12th.
Yeah, June 12th, but it's June 1st, actually. Okay, no, June 12th.
Yeah, June 12th.
Yeah, June 12th. So the president had said that they were going to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years, meaning you were going to create 10 million jobs per annum. So, now, if we're now saying, I mean, let's even say it's correct. The 2.1 million, I question it big time, but let's even say it's correct. That's 2.1 million in 2 years, 2019 and 2020, 2021. So you've done 2.1. So you're already in a deficit because in 2.5 years, you ought to have done 25 million jobs. So, and you've only done 2.1. So you are short, by about 22.5 million jobs. So you can see how far we've I don't say failed, but what the huge deficit is, so...
What the huge task ahead is.
Exactly, so when you ask me, do I think is a success? I mean...
Yeah, but if you look at the areas where the monies were channeled, when you look at where government was thinking of intervening, do you think that those were critical areas that could have generated the sort of traction we're looking to see, especially with unemployment and well, creating more jobs? I know that there was also a huge thing about trying to save jobs, but coming from where we were, from the lockdowns, etc., do you think that where we spent money was where we ought to have spent it?
Yeah, my response to that, Marco, is that there's a textbook method or strategy to dealing with SMEs if you want to create jobs. Because the MSMEs, you know, are the engine of economic growth in any society, in every developed economy. You know, so the textbook practice is to put these MSMEs in a cluster or a tech hub, or some, like India, they call it special economic zones. That way, you create access to critical infrastructure, roads and maybe power, for instance, and then even access to finance. That way, whatever they do there is measurable easily. Now, if you have MSMEs there's also, I saw a rapid response register or something like that at the, you know, disaster management, whatever ministry. So if you have these MSMEs, you know, scattered everywhere, most likely 70 or 80% of them, no fixed address. The addresses you have, if you go there, you can't even find them. You don't do MSMEs like that. You know, so the plan, you know, the conceptualization of the plan is faulty ab initio. You know, that's what we need to go. So, and we've said this over and over again. The thinking that you could do MSMEs in this haphazard, you know, manner is not going to work. You know, you have to put them in clusters, in hubs, you know, special economic zones.
How feasible is that? I mean, when you think of the fact that we're trying to encourage people to be able to do business from homes, we're telling people that it doesn't have to be so technical for you to start a business. And people have been able to show this potential by what they even do, what they advertise on social media. For instance, those, and when you think of access, where people need access to these businesses, to say that you have to be in some special hub, does it really bring them home to the people who really need their services?
Don't get me wrong, Marco. I mean, there are services you don't have to go, you know, get the service physically, you know. I mean, but let's say a smartphone, your device has an issue. You've got to go to Computer Village. Nobody's going to fix I'm not going to come to your house, you know, for you to fix my smartphone. I would go to Computer Village, either Lagos, Abuja, or wherever they are in all the states. You know, so, and do you know how much revenue is generated at the Computer Village? Do you know how much revenue is generated at a place like UTC in Abuja?
So there are some businesses that are suited to hubs, but not all businesses are.
Most SME businesses are suited to hubs. Most SMEs, because the service sector of any economy is the engine of growth and all of that. And they are most suited to hubs. Even tech hubs, you know, they have tech hubs. Silicon Valley, even in Lagos, when Zuckerberg and Dorsey came to Nigeria, they didn't visit people in their homes. They went to the tech village in Lagos. You know, so this idea that people can stay in their homes and then you can measure what they are doing. So I can be in my home and tell you I employ 5 people. How do you know that? So the people who track the figures would have to visit every homes. No, Mark, well, let's be reasonable. Let's be smart. The way we run this country, you know, we've not run this country, you know, like smart people, unfortunately. And I think going forward, that's one of the things we need to be looking for. You know, people who can run this country, you know, smartly.
Well, we have to thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Mr. Wale Oluwade is the CEO of Growth Masters Consulting and is speaking to us here in our Abuja studios. Thank you once again. And a Happy New Year.
Same to you. Happy New Year.
We'll take a break at this point and we're back to take a further look at the Economic Sustainability Plan. Please stay with us.